All right, we'll get started. Patient. All righty. Adult Kenpo class. Your warm-up for today. It's going to be 20 jumping jacks, 20 mountain climbers, 20 air squats, 20 push-ups, and then 20 sit-ups. I'll say that again. It's 20 jumping jacks, 20 mountain climbers, 20 air squats, 20 push-ups, and then 20 sit-ups. You can pause this video now, get that done, do that at your own speed, at your own pace, and then when you're ready, start the video again, or continue from where you are, and we'll get into the material. You can pause that now. Alrighty, we're going to get into our material. We're going to be working a few techniques today. We're going to go through them, and then we'll do some form work as well. First technique that I want to do today is grip of death. Grip of death is off of a side headlock, okay? Now, a couple of things that we have to worry about as far as a headlock go is we have to worry about the blood flow going to the brain from the brain if they're constricting the sides. Right? That is a major, major thing to be concerned about, all right, because of the long-term effects that can come with that. The other thing is right here, our trachea, making sure that we can get air in. If we can't breathe, that's not good. If blood's not going to our brain, that's not good. Both of those could be deadly, so that's why it's very important that we react. So when we get that choke going around our arm, we want to tuck our chin. We want that to be an automatic reaction, but we don't want to tuck our chin in the direction of the elbow, because if I move my chin here, I've just put myself in a much worse position than what I could have been in. So when I tuck, I want to tuck it in, and I want to try to turn it away from the elbow just to kind of save my throat and my neck area. If I have their arm on my jaw and they're constricting at the jaw, not as big a deal as if they're doing it down here, okay? So I want that to be second nature. It's just that tucking and then turning the chin away from the elbow. The other thing that I see a lot of training scars when people do this technique is that, you know, working with a partner back and forth, they're not really going choking each other, and they're training, and what's happening is they're letting their partner get them into that full headlock, and then they begin the technique, which that's great if your partner's not trying to squeeze your head off, okay? But if somebody's really got you in a headlock, if you let them sink that lock in, you're not going to be able to move. It's going to be very, very difficult to make this technique work. As soon as you feel that arm wrapping, that is when you need to react. You don't wait until they've got you here. You need to react as soon as you feel that arm starting to wrap around your neck. You need to react, and you need to begin the technique. Because once you're locked, you're in a very bad place. It becomes very hard to protect yourself. So we're going to work this in the air, okay? Grip of death, we're going to be using a closed kneel on the first stance to help us break our opponent's balance. So we're going to be using that closed kneel to check their knee, which is going to help to destabilize their base. So they're getting us in that choke. We're going to tuck our chin down and away from the elbow as we step 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock's in front of me. I'm going to step to 1 o'clock. As I step to 1 o'clock, not 1 o'clock, it's going to be 11 o'clock, my bad. As I step to 11 o'clock and do a closed kneel. As I do that step, this knee that's in the closed kneel, that will be buckling their back leg. And I'm going to do 2 hammer fists. All right, I'm going to do one to the groin and one to the, one to the kidneys in the back, like that. And those are going to be a simultaneous hit. So number 1 is tuck the chin, step, wham, and hit. That's 1, getting the knee check in there. Again, tucking the chin, moving, step into 11, 1. And one more time, ready? 1. Good. Our next thing that we're going to do is we're going to reach over with our back hand, your left hand, and you're going to grab and you're going to anchor down to get them off you basically. So it's a grab, anchoring, and then you turn, pivot to forward bow, and palm heel. Now, where we grab for the anchor, that's going to be situational. If they have a lot of hair, I don't have enough hair to grab really. So shorter hair, probably not going to be enough to be able to get them over. So hair is a good one if they have enough hair to make it work. The eyes, if they're really choking you and the eyes are all you can get, go for the eyes. Another one that I've seen people do, and I actually really like this one, is under the nose and then pulling up because the head's going to move. It's a very painful body manipulation. But that requires some fine motor skills. And in the stress of combat, your fine motor skills go away. So this could work. This could work. I feel like those are both fine motor skills though. So I think hair and then under the jaw, right here, under the chin, if you just cup under the chin and then drop it back, those two, jaw and then hair, are your gross motor movements. So probably are going to work better for a combat situation. When we do that, we don't want to, whatever we grab, we don't want it to be here and then like that. I want to keep everything tight to the center of my body, and I want to anchor. So I'm grabbing, I'm in my closed knee, I just did my hits, I reach over, I grab, I want to drop this down, anchoring. That's going to take them from here to here, and that's going to set you up to be able to turn to your forward bow towards 6 o'clock and then deliver your palm heel to the facial region. So let's do that by the numbers. Ready? Tucking the chin. 1, 2, 3. Again, grip of death. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll do it facing this way a couple times by the numbers. Ready, grip of death. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Once more. Tuck the chin. 1, 2, 3. When I call go, we'll put this technique all together. Grip of death. Ready. Go. Again. Go. Once more. Grip of death. Go. Alrighty. Very good. So that is grip of death off of a side headlock. What I want you to do now to work grip of death further is you're going to pause the video and you're going to set a timer and you're going to do 3 rounds. You're going to do 3 1-minute rounds, and you can take breaks in between as needed. The first round, I want you to work grip of death at a slow pace, focusing on the details, okay? I've heard with a lot of training that I've done over the years that the devil's in the details, and details are going to be what makes the technique really work. Not so much brute strength, but having proper technique. That can make somebody who's smaller in stature be effective against somebody bigger in stature, because size and strength, smaller people are going to be disadvantaged every time. But if you have good technique, that can equal that out somewhat, okay? So your first one is going to be slow and based on precision. 1 minute, over and over, working grip of death. The second one, you're going to do it at a quicker speed, but still try to focus on your precision. So your first minute is slow and precision. Second minute that you do is going to be fast and precision. And then the third minute that you do, and give yourself a little bit of a break in between, because I don't want you guys totally gassed, because the more gassed you are, the less precise you're going to be. Your third round, your third minute is your all out. You are getting attacked. Somebody's grabbing you, choking you. All right. I want you to visualize all of that. You are getting attacked. So you need to do it full speed, full power, with intensity, with energy. That's going to be round number 3. Okay. So work that. Take your time with it. Take breaks in between. First minute, slow, precise. Second minute, fast, precise. Third minute that you do, explosive, energetic, full power, full speed. Go ahead and work that. We're going to move on to our next technique. You can pause this now. We'll be back in just a minute. Alrighty, our next technique that we're going to be doing is going to be not swinging pendulum. We're going to do glancing salute. Now, our salute techniques in Kenpo usually have a upward type palm heel. Thrusting salute has it. Triggered salute has it. Glancing salute has it. We're working glancing salute today. Now, glancing salute, we throw the salute out. We throw that palm heel out, but it glances because it hits the target and then it moves past, and we're going to go into a hook, a hooking maneuver rather, a shape of the crane to gain control of the head and neck. So you'll see how that works. So we're going to get into it. So glancing salute is off of a cross push, cross shoulder push. So as far as the pushes go, we have a direct push. Direct push is from here to here. It's directly across. The cross pushes, they cross the body. Pretty easy to remember that way. So direct is straight across, cross, you cross the body. So this is a cross push, okay? Now somebody's pushing me, and a push is a semi-live attack. So we have our dead, semi-live, and live. It starts off as a live attack, but then it holds there. It pushes, it stays there. So it's a semi-live attack. So they push, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hand and I'm going to pin. I'm going to use that push that they gave me to kind of give me a little bit of torquing energy. Okay, so I'm going to pin. Hold on one second. I'm actually doing it on this side, so that way I'm mirrored to you. They're pushing me to this shoulder. I'm going to pin, and I'm going to use that push to give me a little bit of rotating, torquing power as I step, and then I pivot to a forward bow. I'll show that again. I'm getting pushed, pin, step, pivot to a forward bow. I'm holding on to the wrist. I'm doing a forearm strike to the elbow, hyperextending the elbow. That's my first move. That's number one. So pushing me, pinning, stepping, hitting. One. I'm going to check down two, pushing their arm against them as I pivot to a forward bow and do a palm heel. This is my salute. That's going to be three. From here, I want you to do a shape of the crane. You're going to hook around the neck like this. As you anchor this in, don't try to pull. Anchor it in, keep it tight to center. Anchor a knee, and then land, elbow strike. So let's do that by numbers now. This is glancing salute. 1, 2, hook 3, knee 4, elbow 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to face the other direction now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. All together now when I call go. Ready? Glancing salute. Go. Again, glancing salute. Go. One more time, glancing salute. Go. All right. If you need to go back and practice glancing salute again, you can go ahead and rewind and practice glancing salute. If you're feeling confident with glancing salute, what I want you to do now is the same that you did for our last technique. It's going to be 3 1-minute rounds, self-paced. Your first minute, slow and precise. Second minute, add some speed, but keep it precise. Third minute, all out. You are being attacked. You need to defend yourself. Explosive, powerful, quick. You are being attacked. How are you going to make this work on the street? So do that now, okay? You can pause the video, work that. We're gonna have a couple other videos, or a couple other techniques coming up in a minute, okay? Go ahead and work those now, and we'll see you guys soon. Alrighty, now those last two techniques were for our white, yellow, orange rank students. That does not mean that you guys that are those ranks cannot go on and do the next techniques. And our purple, blue, green students, I want you to work those techniques that they just did as well. That's why I didn't say it before. I wanted you guys to get a review in on a couple older techniques that you hadn't done in a while. So white, yellow, orange belts, if you'd like to continue on, by all means continue on and keep working these techniques. If not, go ahead and keep practicing this. Okay, so our next technique that we're going to be working on is swinging pendulum. Pendulums are your kick techniques. Not every kick technique is a pendulum, though. That's just something to keep in mind. But your kick techniques, if it has pendulum in it, it's usually not usually, it is a kick technique. So we're working swinging pendulum. Now, with swinging pendulum, normally if I was at the dojo, I'd use like a bow staff to demonstrate this, or a kali stick. I don't have one of those at home, though. I should bring a bunch of that stuff here from when I teach here instead of at the school. But I have the tube for a vacuum cleaner, and I'm going to use that to help me out. So when I throw my roundhouse kick, my roundhouse kick goes, and it should end at center line. So center line splits me in half like this all the way down. I'm in two equal halves. If I'm in a fighting stance, it's going to split me. The halves might not be equal, but it's going to split me down my middle still, okay? Now, your roundhouse kick comes up and around, and as it comes out, it's coming out building power, building power, building power, building power. As it gets to center line, which is where it should end, it's max power. If there's any rotation beyond center line, decreasing, 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 okay? And that's how the kick works. That's the physics of it. Center line is max power for this kick. I don't want to be on center line. If I'm squared up with them to start, I am on center line, and I don't want to be there. So imagine that this is the kick right there, trying to hit me on center line. I have it lined up perfectly with my nose. I don't want to be on center line. So I'm going to get off of center line. So that way, if the kick does carry through, it's going to be weakened. But now I'm away from the maximum power of the kick. I want to try to get away from that. Now, somebody who kicks you on the street, they usually know what they're doing. They usually have some sort of training. So if they're kicking you, that can be kind of dangerous because they know what they are doing if they're kicking you. If they're kicking you right. If they're just, doing some sort of like that, they probably don't know what the heck they're doing. Okay? Now, your roundhouse kick is a very powerful kick. It is probably the strongest kick that we have in the system. I haven't done any tests or really thought about that, but the roundhouse kick, I would say, is probably the most powerful kick in the system. I don't want to block that. If somebody is big, they have mass, they have power, speed, and good technique. I don't want to be on the receiving end of that kick, blocking or not. Okay, especially if they're hitting full power. So we start the technique, I'll actually do it this way. We start the technique in a universal guard position, which is your front hands in an inward block and your back hands in a downward block position. And that covers the body. I don't want to stop a kick like that, a hard roundhouse kick, because it still could break a bone in my arm. I don't want that to happen. I want to get off. This guard position is there merely if I'm off and it's something to cover my head and torso from the kick. Or if the kick moves past its center line, I'm out of range. Okay, I'm kind of off. So that's why I don't want to I don't want to block it. I'm going to break my arm. I want to step offline, get off center. Okay, so that kick comes, and I'm going to move with a step towards 4 o'clock, like so. My hands are still in a guarding position in case that kick follows through, but I'm off center line, and that's my defense. It's not a out of my way try to block. It's I'm getting out of the way, and my hands are there just to cover. Okay, so we'll work that. We start in a neutral bow. You're going to have your right leg forwards. You're going to have your right hand in the inward block, your left hand in the downward block position for the universal guard. That kick comes, you're going to step to 4 o'clock. You're going to do a step drag in as you do a downward hammer fist and a waiter's hand check. This downward hammer fist hits the groin, which is why we have that high check in case they bend forwards. I don't want to eat a headbutt by accident. From here, I'm going to do a side step with the rear leg, grab the groin, and then I'm going to rip up and do an upward elbow right to the jaw, and then I would cross out. We'll do that again. Technique is swinging pendulum. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Once more. 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm going to face the other direction. Swinging pendulum. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All together now when I call go. Ready, go. 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 And then I would cross out. All right. So that is swinging pendulum. I want you to practice swinging pendulum. If you need more work on it, rewind and then follow along again. If you do have it down though and you're feeling confident, like the 2 other techniques, you're going to do 1-minute rounds, 3 of them. Round 1 is slow and precise. Remember, take your breaks in between so that way you're not completely gassed. Number 2 is going to be precise but with some more speed. And then round number 3 is going to be 1 minute all out. You're being attacked, full power, speed, explosiveness, whole enchilada. You guys can pause this now, work those techniques, or work that technique, 3 1-minute rounds. All right, and we'll have one more technique for you guys when you get back. All righty. The next technique that we are going to do is going to be destructive kneel. Now, destructive kneel, all closed kneels. The first stance, more of a modified neutral bow, modified forward bow, but everything after that, it's a closed kneel. And we're using those closed kneels to help attack the legs. So these stances now, our stances are strikes, and we're throwing strikes with our hands at the same time. And as we do this, we're going to be having double factors, where we're going to be having 2 strikes at the same time, 2 beat movements. So 2 beat movements with our hands, but then we're also getting those knee checks. So we are hitting them 3 times with each move of the technique. And it's kind of cool. It's going to be a little bit hard to visualize it, just doing it in the air without a partner. But when we get back to the dojo, or if you have a training partner that you could use at home, try this out and you'll be able to see just how you can use, the knee checks in conjunction with your hands. And that will change a lot of stuff with your Kenpo. You'll see that, and what will happen is, as you're practicing or working a technique or working with somebody, you're going to say, hey, I could pop a knee check in there. And you'll start to use them as inserts. This technique, I kind of look at it as a opening door for getting your legs involved in the techniques more. So anyways, enough blabbing about destructive kneel. Let's get into it. Destructive kneel is off of an overhead punch coming down. Now, the first move, personally, I'm not as big a fan of. So the first move, you're stepping and you're doing a slicing upward block. And I'm leaving a big wide opening here. I'm leaving my groin exposed. So my idea with it is, and this is a what if. It's not how I was taught. It's not how it was presented to me. This is just a what if that I like to play with it. I teach it the regular way, but then I like to go into the what if. I like this as, what if, you're walking out of the movies with a date, or you are walking in the parking lot with your kids and you're holding their hand, okay? Or you're holding, I don't say bag of groceries because I would drop a bag of groceries in a second if I had to fight. But you're something important, a person. Um, you're walking and then you get that sucker punch coming at you, right, from up to down. So the idea that I like to play with this a lot is I'm moving kind of that disadvantaged position so that way I can put myself between the threat and the person that I'm with, and then I can continue and finish from there. So that's just one interpretation of this technique that I have. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying that's one of the ways that I like to teach it, and one of the ways that I like to look at it. And then we'll do drills off of that a lot of times in class where I'll have people walking hand in hand, or I'll have people walking like that and they get attacked. And it kind of changes it a little bit. You know, it goes from just doing the technique to you kind of get this whole psychological thing going, oh my gosh, I need to protect that person. And you'll start to do some things like throwing a hand here to push them back as you do it. And it's just a fun drill that I like to do. Enough blabbing about this. I think I already said that. We're going to get into it. So overhead punch coming down. I'm stepping with my left leg as I do a right slicing upward block to stop the overhead punch. I'm going to pull back, tracking back, and I'm going to grab at the wrist as I pivot to a closed kneel, and I do a heel palm strike to their elbow. So I have control of the wrist, doing a heel palm strike to the elbow. Now, what we're going to do next is going to be stacking. Stacking, I call it, is one hand on top of the other. So now I'm going to stack. I'm going to do my right hand on top of my left. My left is in a back fist position. My right is in a heel palm. I'm going to do a step forward slightly, going to a closed kneel, striking with that closed kneel as I do a back fist to the body and a heel palm to the head. And then I'm going to switch the hands and I'm going to stack them. And then I'm going to do a back fist with my right hand and a vertical punch with my left as I pivot to a closed kneel, like so. And then I would end with a roundhouse kick to the knee, and I would cross out. We'll work this by the numbers. So that punch comes 1, 2, and a closed kneel. Switch the hands. 3 in a closed kneel. Switch the hands. 4 in a closed kneel. Roundhouse kick 5. Cross out. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cross out. Once more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cross. All right, from the other direction. Punches coming overhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once more, overhead punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All together now when I call go. Destructive kneel. Ready, go. Ready, go. Destructive kneel. Same drill with this. If you need more practice, I want you to rewind and practice through with this again, following the video. If you're feeling comfortable with it, what I want you to do, pause the video, work this 3 1-minute rounds. Round 1, slow and precise. Round 2, fast and precise. Round 3, all out. You are being attacked. You need to do this full speed, full power, full explosiveness. Make it work and get home safely. Excuse me. And that's the mentality that I want you to have while you work for number 3. Okay? So they're 1-minute rounds. Go ahead and work those. You could pause this now and begin. All righty. Very good today, everybody. So we worked through 4 techniques. We went in depth on all of those techniques. We worked on grip of death. We worked on glancing salute. We worked on swinging pendulum. And then we did destructive kneel. Practice those techniques. Get those down. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Okay, my students that have all of my contact information, all right, you guys can, if you have questions on something, send me a message, text me, call me. If you have a video that you want me to go over of you doing something, go ahead and send me that video. Any questions, let me know. I'm here to help you guys. We're going to get through this COVID-19. We are going to beat it, and soon enough, we will be back banging and striking in the dojo. Until then, we're stuck here, and then this is what we'll be doing, keeping our skills as sharp as we can until we can get back to training how it should be. We'll talk to you soon. Great work, guys. Keep it up. Let's bow out. Have a great day, everybody.